So I wanted to talk a little bit about Sirius, the star Sirius. It's the dog star. If you don't know about the star Sirius, it is our spiritual sun. It is so much brighter and so much more powerful than our sun. In a lot of ways, a lot of people believe that we are on a ghetto-ass planet. It's true. A lot of people think that this planet, out of all the other planets, is more ghetto, And some people believe that because we're so far from our spiritual sun. Our sun is powerful. It's amazing. I love our sun. I'm a Leo. But that spiritual sun, Sirius, is so much more powerful than our sun. And so when we think about the chosen date for the United States Independence Day being the sun conjunct Sirius, it shows you what energy was being attempted to connect to. So if you think about the stars and the stripes of our flag, very much you see a lot of that, the star energy on a lot of different flags, and a lot of other countries also have Independence Days or celebrations around this time as well. It's not just the United States. So when we think about this idyllic connection to our spiritual sun, whoever, was dictating this, the attempt was there to kind of infuse the celebration with that energy. And also some people think that just in general, a lot of our holidays tend to be around very meaningful astrological or pagan things. And sometimes there's the thought that that's like masking that, which I also can, to some degree see, but there's also just this need for celebration. So whatever it is you celebrate, whatever country you live in, there's typically celebrations around these significant things. And this is definitely a significant portal or time period where our sun aligns with the spiritual sun, because our sun represents in astrology our consciousness, our conscious awareness. And so when it's conjunct anything, we're going to be more aware or more conscious or conscientious of that energy. And so with the spiritual sun, I'm going to talk a little bit about where this is in your chart. So everyone has the star Sirius in their chart, and it lives between 13 to 14 degrees of Cancer. And this is, Western astrology. Knowing what house that is for you, knowing what that illuminates for you, the energy that it infuses for you is really powerful. And this is an energy to receive, purify. Oftentimes around this time in Cancer season, hi, if you're just joining, type it in the chat and say hello so I can say hello back. Often around this time, many people notice that there's pain points activated for them. There's some melancholy or something being triggered around nostalgia or grief around this time. And it's in this time and in that pain that there's also this opportunity to heal and this opportunity to kind of rise above. And so it's kind of that catch-22 of like the only way through, you can only go through things, right? So allowing ourselves to really feel whatever it is that's being triggered in a painful way is the way to understand like the healing that's available to us. And this is very much the Star Sirius energy, is to purify and nourish your spirit. So every year for 70 days in the summer, this connection to our spiritual sun is there. And this is why oftentimes people feel really good in the summer. Oftentimes this is a time to really see things in a new perspective. And there's definitely something about it just being the midway point of the year that there's an opportunity to either go back into familiar pathways of avoiding or not being with things versus a new blueprint coming through. And this is what this Star Sirius energy is trying to do, is give us the opportunity to tap into something new, to see things in a different perspective, to move out of victimhood, to be with our grief in a way that helps us to feel some relief. I often think about, with this energy, the book The Giver and how related to our memories. And oftentimes there's memories that we have that we don't have words for, that might even not even be from this lifetime, that might not even be from this planet. This sense, and this is very much a Cancerian thing, this intuitive part of Cancer is tuning into some nostalgia that's not even from this time and space reality, and allowing yourself the space to connect in with a soothing energy, which is the Star Sirius. So this time in general, every year, is a really powerful time to connect in with that energy. Knowing where that energy lives in your particular chart is so powerful, because it allows you more opportunity to tap into that energy, more opportunity to find outlets for that energy, and work with it. So I am offering special Sirius readings for July. So if you're interested in that, I will post a link in the comments once this is posted, because it's so cool to see how this connects for you. It's often a point, like, because it's the dog star, it has some of that like lone wolf energy, like having to do things very different from others can be isolating, and it can kind of have like that black sheep of the family energy to it. But in that, there's why don't we fit in? Why do we feel like we don't fit in? Is often because we're tapping into some other energy, or we're carrying with us some other energy that is making us feel like we don't fit in. It's not necessarily that people see someone as not fitting in. It's just that there's a sense that there's something about people who have connection to Sirius energy in their birth chart that connects them with an energy that's not from this time-space reality. Since our spiritual sun is so far from us, since Sirius is so far from where we are on planet Earth, connecting with that energy, or being connected with that energy, can feel isolating, because that energy is not the energy of this ghetto planet, right? It's like a very different energy. So just being aware of that can be helpful. And when I talk about like this halfway point of the year being a time point of like, will I go back to the old familiar, or will I lean into like the new blueprint, to the new energy? This is very much also related to like the idea of Independence Day being during this time where the sun is conjunct Sirius, because this country, the way that it is, was founded to try to break away from the hold that, the colonial England had on it. So it's like, while so many things are wrong with this country, and so many things are wrong with the way it was developed, and the kind of stampeding of like other people, and all of those things are so problematic, and there's so many issues, there was this idealism that somehow it could be done differently, or somehow it could be done in a way that infuses this spiritual sun. So while I don't align with a lot of this country's like development and colonialism, it's interesting that in a way there was this attempt to break away from that, but then inevitably kind of the recreation of that happened. And so during the 70-day window, because it's pretty much the whole summer, because we move into, during Cancer season, we have this alignment, and then we move into like the Lionsgate energy. So we start with this like emotional, typically like some type of like emotional pain or something getting triggered, the old pathways like kind of coming in around like, whatever your mind's telling you. And then there's this opportunity to kind of rise above. And then when we move into Leo season, it's like having the courage to actually like enact that change, or really find ways to move forward in a courageous way. So it's a really powerful time. There's definitely always, Cancer season is aligned with our moon, and Leo season is aligned with our sun. And so, of course, it's going to be a very personal time in the summer to do this developmental work, to do this courageous work. And that's why it's such a powerful time to work with healers and astrologers, and why I'm offering a special on these readings, because it's such a good opportunity to grow and stretch and come into new ways of doing things. So the dog star Sirius is at 13 to 14 degrees of Cancer. Look at where that is in your birth chart. If you don't know how to do that, definitely book a reading. And I wanted to talk about the couple people, I've mentioned this before, but the couple people that have really strong connection as like just, I mean, there's so many people in their birth chart that have this, but the two people that really stand out to me are Elon Musk has their Mercury conjunct this star Sirius energy. And so the way that he communicates is really not of this world. Like, obviously, he's a super problematic human as well. But his desire, like, there's some connection between the way he brings like technology and different ways of doing things that are kind of not of this time-space reality to this planet is unlike anyone else. The other person is Frida. And Frida, for me, Frida Kahlo brings up this piece to Sirius that's really important, and of Cancer season in general, about art and art as an intermediary way to convey feeling and emotion and things that are not of this planet. So why we so connect with music and why we so connect with art is because we don't have to use this like archaic English language that is missing so many spiritual pieces or has been depleted from the language. We can use art and music to convey feeling and emotion and in a lot of ways like healing. And so I think of her, she has her sun conjunct Sirius, and just her art just speaks in this other language in a way. I mean, and this is like, you know, in the early 1900s that her art, you know, was popular, or maybe not popular, but like being developed. So really ahead of her time. So you'll also see people that have really close conjunctions or aspects to the star Sirius being ahead of their time or bringing things that are ahead of their time. And oftentimes people don't respect them or honor those things until much later. So when we talk about this country and the conjunction to the star Sirius, I think it's such an important time to not get drunk and lost in fireworks, but understand that there is like this very amazing capacity and ability to connect in with this energy that is very healing, again, offers this whole new blueprint for being, and connects you with a very wise part of yourself and a wise part of like the star family. And so utilizing this time to spend extra time in nature, meditate, doing the things that feed your soul is so, so vital during this time. And so to just remember to bring in those things and to prioritize those things, especially during a time when a lot of people are like just being in social gatherings or, you know, being in places where in a way it's like using substance to disconnect with spirit. So this is a really powerful time to do the opposite, to nourish your spirit, to connect in with your spiritual sun in whatever ways that looks like for you. And if you do want to book a reading with me, I will have a special link for the Sirius readings. They will also include, of course, other things in your chart, whatever's kind of popping off right now. And I will have those up and available for you to book through the summer. And yeah, thank you for being here. If you appreciated this live, when you see it come up on your feed, go ahead and give it a like and a comment. Take care. Bye.